I'm at our local fabric and yarn store because today we're gonna add a little bit of color to our kitchen. So we're just gonna go through and find some patterns that we like. Let's do it. If you clicked on this video, you know you have taste and you're looking for fun DIY ways to upgrade your house or your apartment, but you're trying to do it on a budget. I know for me, like I moved into this apartment and it was so gray and so sterile, and I don't have all the money in the world, so we decided to come up with some ways to personalize it. And especially after all of these DIYs that we did, I think it looks really nice and homey in our house. You guys saw that we went to the fabric store and we ended up picking up this really cute plaid fabric. Side note, if you guys are not on the plaid train, you guys should get on it. We have been obsessed with plaid. It's the pattern of the year for us. And that kind of leads us into what the first project was, and it was a Roman shade. I have been seeing Roman shades all over my Pinterest. I feel like it just makes a house feel so much more personalized and so much more fun. It just adds so much color and texture to a home. But looking at that couple $100 price tag, my wallet is just not there for it. I did some research and I decided to try to make my own, and it was honestly so fun and so easy. We went to Walmart and we ended up getting these, I think they were like $8 or $9 push up and pull down blinds, and I laid them out and counted out every 15 slats. I ended up cutting up the rest of the slats so that there would just be gaps in between each 15. Pro tip, also I had to move to the floor because the ground was the strat. It made things so much easier to do. Then I laid my fabric under the blinds and ended up gluing the top and bottom parts of the blinds, and then I glued the middle slats onto the fabric. Then I got the help of my very patient and handy husband, and he unscrewed all of our previous blinds and attached these blinds in. It was a very simple process. If you guys just have a drill, it'll work perfect. And that was it. I think it turned out so beautiful and so fun. And honestly, if you guys are to do like one DIY, I don't know, all the DIYs I feel like made my house look so good. But if you guys were like looking for something really fun to just revamp any room, this is it. We're definitely keeping this up seriously until we move. And the best part is, like, I'm sure hot glue is so forgiving that like I could even rip off the fabric and put new fabric on if I wanted to in the future. The next DIY was inspired by all of this cinder block and wood furniture that we had just been seeing everywhere. I feel like it just makes things look a bit more industrial and cool. It seriously costs the same amount as any other shoe rack that we saw on Amazon, but it feels so much more custom and it makes me a lot more excited to like go put my shoes somewhere. Obviously, we had just kept all of our shoes on the ground, and this definitely is a huge upgrade. It feels like a really intentional space for our shoes. I know that sounds silly, but I think it turned out so good. We just got 2 cinder blocks, put 4 slats of wood in them, and called it a day. Seriously, easiest DIY ever. Also, if you guys are gonna do this DIY, I thought of this after we did it, but I definitely recommend like buying some felt and just gluing it or taping it or however to the bottom of the cinder block, because we have hardwood floors and it'll definitely keep it from scratching up the hardwood floors a lot more. A space that's really important to my husband and I is kind of our living room, TV room. I feel like we spend a lot of time on the couch and just watching shows together, or I'll craft and he'll play video games, whatever. But the walls are just so white and we put art on them, but I feel like it just needed an upgrade. I was so inspired by this woman that I found on TikTok, and her house is so goals for me. Literally her kitchen, her walls, like everything is plywood and it looks so cool. Obviously, I do not have the money to remodel my kitchen or make my entire house plywood, but I decided to kind of be influenced by her, and I measured my walls and we ended up just getting a couple 8x4 really cheap thin, I think they were like $15 planks of wood, and we bought some heavy duty command strips and just put those suckers up. A quick random little DIY. I was in LA and I saw this store. They had this huge frame with just this like brown paper bag with like a white drawing on it. And I was so obsessed. And so for my house, just an easy way that I like made art for it is I bought a brown roll of, honestly, I think I even just stole a brown piece of paper from like my sister or something. And then I bought like a white gel crayon and I just went to town and drew something that I wanted. So if you guys are looking for like a really cool way to just put some art in your house, I feel like it like makes it look like expensive, but it actually was not. It honestly transformed the room so much. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I couldn't recommend this DIY more. It seriously changed our living room into such a cozy, warm, homey space. Alongside that, we were also looking for like a really fun way to personalize our bedroom. And to be completely honest, I had this up before this video, but I wanted to share it because I honestly feel like it's a really great DIY and it's so renter friendly. I saw this bedroom and I was like, holy smokes, like that is the most perfect bedroom in the world, but I'm renting and I can't paint my walls. And I tried thinking of like some alternatives. I was maybe thinking wallpaper, but our walls, TBH, are kind of weird and they like peel off so easy. I don't know what they're made of, but that was just not gonna work for us. So I thought of just buying a long strip of fabric. I think about like 4 yards. And we just bought baby little nails and tacked them in. And it makes our room look so fun. I honestly think it looks really similar to what I had pinned on Pinterest, and it's so easy to remove. It'll just like make any little space you have just a little bit more cozy. The last DIY is also one of my favorites, and I had been looking all over for really great ways to incorporate art and imagery into my house, and I stumbled upon the world of frame and matting. And right now it is all the craze to have a really interesting layout, either like a small little picture in a big mat or pictures in the corners, just kind of funky everywhere, and I was loving that. I was also loving the look of like a monochromatic frame and mat like matching moment. And so I wasn't in the mood to drop some fat stacks on framing and matting, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it upon myself to just try to do it myself. So we went to DI and we bought just a couple frames that we thought would be really cool and interesting shapes to add to our home. And we went to Walmart, we bought a couple spray paints. The colors of choice we have today are this espresso
and silver lilac.
We also have that plum over there. Don't know what it's called. And we went to town. We just sprayed those frames. We sprayed the big mat board. I think the mat board ended up being like $8 or $9 for the whole big thing. And the frames were definitely like $4. Like this was such an easy DIY. I have this really fun like scratch notebook of just random papers. So I might go through it and just see like if there's anything cool. I definitely like this guy on the phone. I feel like that one's kind of fun. We also pulled out this like yellow one, which I feel like also looks good with the brown. I'm also thinking I made that I made that horse stamp, and I'm thinking maybe stamping it on something. Yeah, after choosing what would go into the frame, it was just so fun to cut everything out, put it in, and see the magic work. We ended up putting this horse one in our bathroom over our toilet, and it totally upgrades the space. And then we put this picture of Colin and I just above and to the left of our sink, and we feel like it's just like a little hidden treasure. I don't know. I think it's really fun. My husband always says my love language is our house. I just love buying things for it and just trying to be a little bit funky with it. It's really important to me that my house is just as homey as can be. Guys, I'm also so grateful for the amount of subscribers and comments I got on my last video. I genuinely feel like I have 1,000 new friends. You guys are just so nice. Like, I didn't know the internet could be this nice, but I genuinely appreciate it, and I genuinely appreciate it if you stayed to the end of this video. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, and I'll see you guys next week.